So the bubbles burst for some clubs out in the Championship as we wind down to the end of the season. There's only 2 games left. Who is going up? Who is going down? We'll talk all about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today, we're taking a look at match number 45 out of the Championship, and we'll get to that in just a second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button and get up to date with all things Championship-related, Blackburn, Rovers, football-related. We got it all here under one roof. That's right, boys. I have some technical snafus on my end. I do apologise. This might not run smoothly, so it might run flawlessly. But yeah, so just bear with me as we try to scurry through. One computer's died on me, completely died. Motherboard, I think, is toast. Second computer with all my data on. I can't get the data from the first computer onto the second computer. I'm now on the Mac. It's desperate times, absolute desperate times. So in this desperate times, I want a big shout out to the patrons for supporting the channel. We have just reached 15,000 subscribers, but I also want to support the patrons for supporting the channel in the way that you do. It's desperate times like these. I appreciate it. I do appreciate having patrons. William Shepherd, LG and Cal, Bianca Mola, Daniel Mellor, Cody Cahoe, Joachim Johansson, Tom Beresford, Tom Clark, John Spurn, Russell Frost, Aztec Marky Mark. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If anyone else there wants to join the gang, there is a link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. Speaking of Rovers, not Roverseas, but speaking of Rovers, Rovers are out. That's right, of the old promotion push. Let's talk about it then, shall we? So here we go, boys and girls. Let's take a look back. Of course, this is the criteria. We're just jumping straight into it. 0 to 3, you're in the shit-faced gang. 4 to 8, you're in the straight-faced club. 9+, you're in the top banana. That's right. Are we going to see it? Are we? Is it? Don't die on me already, will you? Coming at you on Wednesday night, it was Charlton up against Birmingham. Ended up all square with an early goal, reasonably early, for Macaulay Bond to give Charlton a lead on that one. Birmingham, of course, fighting back and to get a valuable point for them. Lucas Jakubowicz score sheet. The 93rd minute. For me, I actually went with a 0-0 on this one, so not too shabby, boys. Not too shabby. 1-1 was the final score on that one. Next up, Brentford did take care of business against Preston. Ollie Watkins on the score sheet on that bad boy. Actually went with a 3-1 for the Bees. They're there. They're on the cusps, folks. Still in third place. Any more slip-ups by West Brom and Brentford will sneak in there. I can see it. Bristol City, they drew 1-1 with Stoke. Goals on that one. Filip Benkovic gave in Bristol City the lead with Danny Bath on the score sheet as well. So a good point for Stoke. I think that puts them safe as well. 2-1 for me. So pretty shitty. Cardiff did beat Derby and they looked themselves, give themselves a big old boost there, Cardiff, to remain in those top 6 spots. 2-1 final score. Actually went with a 2-1 the other way. It was more optimism than anything else. Of course, there is one more match left in this match day, and that is Leeds against Barnsley. It's the old Yorkshire affair, but we're not going to be looking into that one just yet. But I actually went with a 3-0 win on Leeds. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. I think if Leeds are successful, they'll be very, very close, if not within snorting distance of the Premier League. Luton Town could only muster a draw with QPR, but under Jones, they've done phenomenally well. A nice little unbeaten run. I think they've only slipped up the once since he's come back. Good fighting spirit, but is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? The goal scorers on... sorry, I need to go back a little bit. The goal scorers for the Cardiff game was Junior Hoylett, Jason Knight for Derby, and Lee Tomlin getting the winner for Cardiff. Meanwhile, for Luton, James Collins from the penalty spot and Dominic Ball on the score sheet for QPR. Of course, the game of the week was at the Den. Millwall did beat Blackburn Rovers 1-0. The only goal was from Bennett. What was it? What Bennett was it? It was Mason Bennett, not Elliot Bennett, Mason Bennett with the 1-0 goal. I actually went with a 2-1 win for Rovers. So wrong. Forest and Swansea ended up 2-2. Sammy Abiobi with a brace. Swansea also got a couple of goals. Ryan Brewster, Andre Ayew. Kyle Norton got himself sent off on that one, 2-2. I actually went with the 2-0 win for Forest on this one. More hope than anything else. That point has actually probably not done Swansea any favours, and it's actually given Forest a bit of food for thought as they enter the final couple of games. They're not nailed on yet. Any more slip-ups, and they could actually drop out. That's how tight it is. Reading did lose to Middlesbrough 2-1. Warnock's boys doing okay, and I think they're going to be around now. Ashley Fletcher, Patrick Robertson on the score sheet for Borough. Liam Moore giving Reading the lead. I actually went with a 1-1 draw on this one, so wrong. Sheffield Wednesday drew 0-0 with Huddersfield. Actually went with a 2-0 win for the Owls, but no. Again, not really clearing up the situation at the bottom. I just don't know who's going down. I really don't. Fulham, they also drew 0-0 with West Brom. Actually went with a 2-2 on this one, so I got that one wrong. And of course, the game of the weekend really was Wigan 8-0 demolition Of course, who scored on this one? Well, let me tell you, Kieran Dow got himself a hat-trick. Kiefer Moore got himself a brace. Kai Naismith, Jamal Lowe. Am I missing anybody else? 3, 4, 5. I think there's somebody else in there. Naismith. Moore got himself a couple. Dow, Lowe. That was it, really. Joe Williams. Yeah, 8-0. I actually went with Wigan. Just the 1-0, though. Just the 1-0. So, after those round of matches, this is the... well, this is how I did, actually. I did pretty shitty. Where's all my... Here's my emojis. They're coming in nice and slow, as it's meant to be. Not really. So, yeah, did pretty shitty myself. There we go. Squeezing into the old straight-faced gang. And this is the situation at the table. Let's take a look at it. Let's do the maths. Get the calculators out. These are currently 3 points clear of Brentford. It's not over the line yet. Of course, 2 massive games coming up. Well, in fact, Leeds have a game in hand, so that could easily change. In fact, if Leeds were to win, that put them up to 87 points, which would mean they are 6 points clear. So mathematically, Brentford could still catch them, so they can't celebrate just yet. But if they don't win, then it's all on the line, boys. All on the line. Look at West Brom. They are just 1 point clear of Brentford at the moment. Of course, 2 games left. Fulham, safe as houses in the middle. Nottingham Forest, 3 points clear of Cardiff. Just 5 points clear of Millwall. Any more slip-ups from Nottingham Forest? And you know what? The likes of Millwall and maybe even Swansea could breathe in there. Mathematically, Preston and Bristol City still have a chance. And I think so do Derby. Rovers are out. Down the foot of the table, it's Barnsley going down at the moment. Luton Town and Hull City are joining them, or are they? I think Wigan would also be mathematically on 45 points, but they do have a massive goal difference. So it looks like Hull, Luton and Barnsley going down. But Hull and Luton are duking out next this coming week, so that could be a win for either of them, up to 48 points if they're to be victorious. A draw will do no one any favours. Probably a defeat could relegate them. We'll take a look at all that in just a second. Just to remind you, next season, boys, hopefully no more technical snafus, but we will have the Prediction League. I've been working on stuff already for next season because you just don't know when it's going to be, boys. We just don't know. So make sure you stick around, banging the subscribe, bang the little bell as well. So let's get into it. Take a look at how you guys got on. Devante Caprice did very, very shit. A lot of you guys did shit, pretty poo this week. Dominic, he did pretty shit. Football Mapper, also very shit. Oliver Bradley, he did shit. Retro Flints, 07, he did okay. Byram Oates, not too shabby. Coach Newton, he was a very good coach, not too shabby. Yannick Buster, not too bad as well. Y'all give your hands to respect to my Patreon. But he did very, very shit. Cody Ho, respect to another Patreon as well. Respect to you, sir. But he did shit. Shane O'Donnell, not too bad. Not too bad. Jacob V with an edit. Did shit. Katie Powell, football. She knows her stuff. Not too bad. Miles A, top banana. Well. Not many of those knocking about. Carl BTW did okay. Logan Spavin did shit. Tom did shit. Liam Martin did shit. Kelsey Shambangu, the coolest name ever, did shit. Seth O'Brien did okay. Ian Thomas, not too bad. Shepherd legend. William Shepherd did shit. Dylan O'Dowd, he did alright. Brad Petford, not too bad. Armen Sohi did pretty shit. And Russell Frost, the legend. That he is, but he also did shit. Luke Strudwick with an edit did shit as well. Goodness me, everybody did shit. It was a shitty week this week. Alrighty then, let's get into it and take a little look. Of course, it is Barnsley. They're going to kick it all off this coming match day on. What day will that be? What day will it be? The computer's thinking about it. It's going to be on Sunday the 19th of July, this bad boy. The last 6 encounters sees 3 wins. Yeah, that's right. 3 wins for Barnsley between themselves and Forest, and 3 wins for Forest. They did play at Forest at Nottingham early in the season. It was a 1-0 win for Forest. The goal scorer on that day was Ben Watson on 56 minutes. Last time they played at Oakwell was back in 2017. And Barnsley were victorious. 2-1 winners. Bradshaw on the score sheet. Hedges as well for Barnsley. Darryl Murphy on this one as well. Forest have actually drawn their last 4 away matches in the Championship, but Barnsley have actually kept a clean sheet in their last 3 home matches. So, it could be tight on this one. Just 1 defeat the past 6 for Barnsley. That was the 4-0 spanking by Stoke, but it's been back-to-back draws for them. It's also been an unbeaten, a pretty shitty run for Forest without a win in 4 actually. So they're looking a little bit wobbly at the moment, but they might have just got enough points over the locker. Anyway, this one does take place on the Sunday. The odds are 8-5 for Barnsley, 23-10 is your draw, 31-20 is your away win on this bad boy. Where are we? In the table, of course. Where are we in the table? Barnsley are rooted at the bottom of the table, but a win could push them up to 46 points, and that could push them up to 22nd. It's win or bust, really, for them. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest come into this, of course, in 5th. A win for them would make them a playoff team next season. But Barnsley are scrapping. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw. That will leave Nottingham Forest waiting to see what goes on elsewhere. As for Barnsley, that put them up to 44 points, and that would be pretty much relegation, depending on what goes on between Charlton. So Yes, and of course, but Barnsley do have a game in hand against Leeds, and if they are to be victorious in that, that will just put a cat amongst the pigeons, boys. A cat amongst the pigeons. Next up, we have, of course, the game of the weekend. It will be down at Ewood Park. It is nothing to play for. Blackburn Rovers up against nothing to play for Reading. The last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for Rovers, 3 wins for Reading, and 1 draw. They did play at the Matchday earlier in this season. It was a 2-1 win for Rovers. Bradley Dack and Adam Armstrong on the score sheet for Rovers. John Swift getting consolation for Reading. Last time played at the Matchday was a 2-1 win for Reading. Swifty boy on the score sheet as well. On that day, Nelson Oliveira as well. Amari Bell getting the only goal for Rovers. That was the day that David Ryan got a boot to the face, I believe. Heading into this, of course, Blackburn Rovers actually have scored at least 2 goals in 6 of the last 7 home matches against Reading in all competitions. We like to play them, of course, and I do have a detailed review of it, a preview of this game on the channel, so make sure to check that bad boy out. Heading into this, of course, Reading just won defeat the past 4 away from home. Rovers actually, in fact, that's both home and away. Rovers 1 win in the past 6. That was against Cardiff, so very, very ropey form for us Rovers, but I think we're already at the beach. Heading into this, of course, the bookmakers odds 6-5 for Rovers, 23-10 is your draw, 9-4 is your away win. Of course, mathematically, Rovers could still finish as high as 7th, which would be amazing, but right now we just want to get just want to see some fluidity. But a win for Rovers could see them up to 63 points, which could possibly be up to 9th for the table. A win for Reading in 14th could see them rise up to 13th above Wigan, who are doing very, very well for themselves despite the old ban. I'm going with the Rovers though, 2-0 win. Get the points on the board. Let's get the points on the board. Finish as high as we can, and hopefully that will be in the top 10. Next up, we have Charlton up against Wigan. This is a bit of a belly buster, of course. A win for Charlton, and it looks like they'll be good. A win, a defeat for Wigan could mean them very, very much in the old relegation zone coming in the final day. Heading into this, of course, the last 6 encounters between 2 sides, 2 wins for Charlton, 3 wins for Wigan, and 1 draw. They played at the DW early in the season. It was a 2-0 win for Wigan. Che Dunkley on the score sheet for both of them. The last time played at the Valley was a 3-0 win for Wigan back in 2017. That was in League One. Gaffin Massey with a brace. Sam Morsey as well on the score sheet. Wigan have actually kept a clean sheet in the 10 of the last 11 matches in the Championship. They've also kept a clean sheet in the last 3 matches against Charlton in all competition. And they're also undefeated in 12 of the last 13 matches in the Championship as well. The bookmakers' odds on this bad boy. Take a look at this. Taking place on Saturday. It will be 23-10 for Wigan. 12-5 is your draw. 23-20 is Wigan. Of course, Charlton are favourites on this one. But a win for Wigan, who are mathematically in 13th spot. But a win will put them up to 60 points. If you take away the 12, that'll bring them back down to 48. Which would, I think, I don't know, which would leave them probably mathematically safe because they've got a really good goal difference at the moment. Win for Charlton in 20 first spot would also put them up to 50 points, and that probably would be safety in their eyes. So, big game on this one. I'm going to go with the 2-1 win. Realistically, I think Charlton should edge it. Yeah, you know, just because. That's I'm going with it. No Lar Taylor, but hey ho. Come on, Charlton. Next up, we have, looks like Derby against Leeds. That's it, you see. If Leeds slip up against Barnsley, then they got to take on Derby to seal the deal. Anyway, the last 6 encounters sees 1 win for Derby, 3 wins for Leeds, and 2 draws. They played at Ellen Road earlier in the season. It was a 1-1 draw. Max Slow with a big fat OG, and Chris Martin, not that Chris Martin, but that Chris Martin on the goal scoring sheet for Derby. Last time played at Pride Park was a 1-0 win for Leeds. That was in the playoffs, I think, last season. Kemal Roof with the 1 and only goal. Leeds have actually won 9 of the last 11 matches in the Championship, where Derby actually lost their last 3 matches as well. Very, very ropey form for Derby. Without a win since that 1-0 win over Preston at the start of the month. Whereas Leeds are okay. They're doing very well. Of course, they've got a game in hand against Barnsley between now and then. The bookmakers' odds on this one 10-3 for Leeds. Sorry, 23 the Derby. 3-1 is your draw. 11-8 is Leeds. Leeds come into this, of course, top of the table and currently 2 points clear of West Brom. That could be at least 5 points come match day. But a win would also seal the deal. They'll get promoted to the Premier League. It'll be party time down at Pride Park. Meanwhile, a win for Derby in 11th spot would put them on to 64 points. And as it stands, that would still keep them in the loop. Yes, it would. They basically need to win everything and hopefully get a bigger goal swing as it stands. I'm going with a 1-0 win for Leeds, so yeah. Party on, Leeds fans. Next up, we have Fulham. They're taking on Sheffield Wednesday this coming week. Taking on place on Saturday, the 18th of July. The last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for Fulham, 2 wins for Sheffield Wednesday, and 2 draws. Fulham have actually kept a clean sheet in the last 4 matches in the Championship. But they come into this, yeah, pretty savvy form. Unbeaten in 5, whereas Sheffield Wednesday just 1 win in the past 5. That was against QPR. A couple of games back, 3-0 demolition as well. Bookmakers' odds on this one taking place on the, the 18th, 5-6 on 65 on for Fulham. They are red hot favourites. 5-2 is your draw. 10-3 is your away win, of course, for Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday in 15th for the moment. A win for them could see them rise above Wigan into 13th. A win for Fulham in 4th. Could put them up to 80 points, boys. 80 points. There's a big old haul to get themselves in the playoffs this year. 3-0 win, I'm going. Big, big, big. Don't see many of those, but I'm going to go with it. Next up, we have Huddersfield up against Wigan. Huddersfield up against West Brom, sorry. Huddersfield still in the old relegation fight. They're just 3 points above the drop zone as it stands. Must-win game for both sides here. West Brom need to get over the line. Huddersfield are clinging on for survival. The last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for Huddersfield, 3 wins for the Baggies, and 1 draw. They played at the Hawthorns earlier in the season. It was a 4-2 win for the Baggies. Matt Furlong with a brace. Darnell Furlong and Samir Jai on the score sheet for the Baggies. Lewis O'Brien and Carlin Grant on the score sheet for Huddersfield. The last I played at the Kirklees was a 1-0 win for Huddersfield back in 2017 in the Premier League. Raven Laparra on the score sheet. Christopher Schlinger got himself sent off on that day. Heading into this, Huddersfield actually failed to score in 6 of the last 8 matches in the Championship. They come into this 1 win in the past 6. That was against Birmingham way back at the start of the month. Meanwhile, West Brom back-to-back draws for them. The last victory was against Derby at the start of July-ish. Heading into this, the bookmakers odds, we'll probably give it to the Baggies on this one, I'm pretty sure. Where is it? It does take place on Friday, so we'll know. 10-3 for West Brom. 10-3 for Huddersfield, 11-4 is your draw, 3-4 on, 4-3 on, basically, for the Baggies for the victory. West Brom are in second. A win for them will push them up to 85 points, and then it will probably leave it down to the last day of the season to see what goes on. Of course, it depends on Brentford game as well, because if they were to win, Brentford were to lose, they would get promoted. That's right. So they would win, and then they would keeping their eyes on Brentford to see what goes on with them, because they're going to take on Stoke. But Huddersfield will win for them in 20th spot, will push them up to 51 points, and that should be safety as well. So very, very much a lot on the table for both sides. I'm going to go with the 1-0 win for the Baggies on this one, which would make them very, very close in touching distance, sneezing distance to the Premier League. Next up, we have Hull. Of course, this is a monstrous game against Luton Town. Both are in need of win. The last 6 encounters sees 3 wins for Hull, 2 wins for Luton, and of course 1 draw. Hull coming to the back of this on the bet of a Bobby Dazzler, and they need to bounce back in the best way possible. But they come into this, of course, they did take on Luton earlier in the season. I can't remember it was a 3-0 win for Hull. Kevin Stewart with the brace, Guzicki on the score sheet as well. However, the last they played at the K-Com was a 0-0 draw back in 2006. Goodness gracious me. Heading into this, Hull have actually lost 9 of the last 11 matches in the Championship. And of course, they would want to forget the last result. 4 defeats on the spin for them, just 1 win in the past 6 up against Middlesbrough at the start of the month. Meanwhile, just 1 win in the past 5 for Luton Town. But matey boys, it's just 1 defeat in the past 6 if you want to open it up a little bit more than that. Bookmakers odds on this. Very, very important game. Will Hull respond? That's the question. 8-5 for Hull. 13-8 is your Luton, and 12-5 is your draw. A win for either of them. Luton are in 23rd spot. Would put them up to 48 points, and a win for Hull in 22nd would put them up to 48 points, and then push the likes of Charlton down, and possibly even Huddersfield down. But Hull and Luton have both got mega goal differences. So yeah, it's going to be a tall order for both of these two sides. But they need to win. They need to win to put them up to 58 points. And then you look at it, the likes of Birmingham and Middlesbrough and Stoke, even still in this relegation discussion. But right now they look safe. 0-0 for me. That would pretty much end it. Put them up to 46 points. Yeah, and then you look at Charlton and Huddersfield, depending on what they go on. It is so tight. It's unbelievably tight. Next, I have Middlesbrough up against Cardiff. The last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for Middlesbrough, 4 wins for Cardiff, no draws. They played at Wales, or in Wales, early in the season with a 1-0 win. Ashley Thatcher with a big fat OG. The last they played at the Riverside was a 1-0 win for Cardiff as well. In fact, it's been 3 wins on the spin between these two sides in all competitions and all venues. So, yes, 3 1-0 wins on the spin. Will it be a 4-peat for Cardiff? We'll have to wait and see. Middlesbrough actually won their last 3 matches. Cardiff have actually won their last 3 matches against Middlesbrough. We talked about that. Middlesbrough actually lost 5 of the last 6 home matches in the Championship, whereas Cardiff actually kept a clean sheet in the last 3 matches against Borough. Heading into this, the Warnock effect has been okay. And it's actually, in fact, 1 defeat the past 3 games. They've actually won 2 of those as well. Cardiff, just 2 defeats, 2 wins of the past 5, 3 wins of the past 6 if you want to open up a little bit more than that. The bookmakers odds on that one taking place on Saturday is 13-8 for Middlesbrough, 21-10 is your Cardiff, 21-10 is your draw, 7-4 is your Cardiff. Of course, this is the Neil Warnock derby. Did he start the season as manager of Cardiff, but now he's pulling the strings for Middlesbrough. Win for Middlesbrough in 18th will put him up to 53 points. and that would be safety. Win for Cardiff in 6. We'll probably nail on a place in the Premier League playoffs for them. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Butter. Warnock will have his way and kind of upset the party for Cardiff. He'd want to do one over, I'm pretty sure. Next up, we have Preston North End up against Birmingham. Preston North End still in the hunt at the moment. They have 5 points adrift at the moment, but 6 on the table, so they'll need a win. And of course, they've linked Cardiff to slip it up. They're going to be taking on Birmingham, and they're not out mathematically out of the woods just yet. But anyway, 6-4. Preston have actually won 4 of the past 6 games between 2 sides, 1 draw and 1 win for the Birmingham. The back win for Birmingham was back in 2018. However, it's been back-to-back wins for Preston, both at St Andrews and Deepdale. They played at St Andrews early in the season. It was a 1-0 win. Sean Maguire on the score sheet. Birmingham actually failed to win the last 12 matches in the championship, but they've also failed to score in the last 3 away matches as well. Coming into this, just 1 win in the past 6 of Preston. That was against Sheffield Wednesday early in the month. Meanwhile, without a win in ages. 4 defeats in the past 5 games for Birmingham. Very, very shitty form for them. Bookmakers odds will probably go with Preston on this one. I'm pretty sure of it. Where are you, Preston? Where are you? There you are. Your 20-19 on red hot favourites. 5-2 is your draw. 14-5 is your away win. Of course, a win for Preston in 9th could see them up to 65 points, and a win for Birmingham in 19th could see them up to 53 points, which would be safety. I'm pretty sure. 2-0 win though for the Nobbers, which would leave Birmingham in a bit of a quandary to see what goes on elsewhere. Next up, we have QPR up against Millwall in an All London affair. This one takes place on Saturday, the 18th of July. The last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for QPR, 3 draws, and 1 win for Millwall. They did play at the Den earlier. Season 2-1 win for QPR. Naki Wells on the score sheet with both of them. Sean Hutchinson on the score sheet for Millwall. The last time played at Loftus Road, or whatever they want to call it, was a 2-0 win for QPR. So QPR unbeaten in 3 games in all competitions, both home and away against Millwall. QPR, though, have actually lost the last 3 home matches in the Championship, whereas Millwall have actually kept a clean sheet in 6 of the last 7 matches away from home. Coming into this one, defeat the past 6 for Millwall, both home and away. That was against Middlesbrough, whereas just 1 win in the past 6 for QPR. That was over Middlesbrough as well. Coming into this, the bookmakers odds. This one will be a tough one. Bookmakers 23-10 for QPR, 9-4 is your draw, 6-5 is Millwall. Millwall coming to the 7th of the table. The win would push them up to 6 potentially, depending on what goes on with Cardiff. Win for QPR in 16th would push them up to 57 points, potentially above Wigan in the old standings. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Not really going to say. No one's going to be happy with that at all. It'll probably burst the bubble for Millwall as well. Next up, we have Stoke up against Brentford, taking place on the 18th of July, which is a Saturday. The last 6 encounters see 0 win for Stoke, 2 draws and 4 wins for Brentford. Coming into this, they did play at whatever they call it, Griffin Park early in the season in the FA Cup. It was a 1-0 win for Brentford, and they also played in the league at Brentford as well. It was a 0-0 draw. The last time they played at the Bet365 was a 1-1 draw back in 2018. It was in August. Brentford actually won their last 8 matches in the Championship, and they've also scored at least 2 goals in the last 4 away matches as well. Brentford also undefeated in the last 6 matches against Stoke. We already said that. 6 out of 6 for Brentford. They are red hot form. Meanwhile, Stoke just won defeat the past 4. That was against Leeds as well. So pretty good form for Stoke heading into this. 4-1, the victory for Stoke. 10-7 on for Brentford. Red hot favourites. 3-5 is your draw. 5-3, whatever it is. A win for Stoke in 17th spot will push them up to 53 points, and safety, and a win for Brentford could potentially push them up into 2nd, depending on what. In fact, mathematically, could push them up to 1st, depending on what goes on with Leeds in their 2 games. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for the Bees. Smash dot dash dot, take all the 3 points and put the pressure on the Baggies. Next up, we have Hull against. No, we don't. We have. Who do we have? We have Swansea up against Bristol City. I haven't got the numbers on this one. Give me a second. Swansea up against Bristol City, taking place on the 18th of July, which is a Saturday, of course. The last 6 encounters between these two sees 1 for Swansea, 4 wins for Bristol City, and 1 draw. They played at Bristol City, which is, I thought this was Thrashton Gate or whatever, early in the season, and it was a 0-0 draw. Jake Bidwell got himself sent off. The last time played in Wales was a 1-0 win for Bristol City. In fact, it's been 3 games on the spin. Bristol City are unbeaten against Swansea, picking up 2 wins and a draw in that succession. Bristol City actually kept a clean sheet in 6 of the last 7 matches against Swansea in all competitions. They come into this on pretty good form since, of course, the change of manager or whatever. Unbeaten in 3, whereas Swansea just lost once in the past 5. That was against Leeds heading into this. Of course, bookmakers odds on this one taking place on Saturday as well. Even Stevens for Swansea for the victory. 5-2 is your draw. 13-5 is your away win. Both of these are still ambitiously trying to get in the playoffs, so it's win or bust for either of them. Win for 10th place. Bristol City will push them up to 65 points, and that means they'll be mathematically 2 points adrift of Cardiff, depending on what goes on. Win for Swansea in 8th will push them up to 67 points, and that could mathematically get them in the playoffs, depending on their goal win. Goodness me. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Swansea. It could be a bit of a Welsh dramatic conclusion at the end of the season. That's right. So, between you and I, let's just say all of these beautiful predictions coming in bang on the nose. This is what the table would look like at the end of it. Leeds would be 2 points clear. In fact, 3 points clear of Brentford, not including the Barnsley game, of course. West Brom will be 1 point clear of Brentford. And then Fulham are 84 points. Forest 70. Swansea are sneaking in there into 6th spot on goal difference. Goodness gracious me. And into the last season, the likes of Preston, Millwall, Cardiff and Swansea all duking it out for that last remaining playoff spot. Down the foot of the table, Barnsley would be down. Luton and Hull would be still in it mathematically, and Huddersfield will be duking it out as well. So, goodness gracious me. That's my picks. Make sure you get your predictions in nice and early for this bad boy. That's all I've got, I think. Again, before we go, make sure you stick around next season for the prediction league, for the Championship, for the Premier League, for the Bundesliga. We got them all. We got prediction leagues across the board, folks. Hopefully, I'll figure out these technical snafus before then. But sure to bang the subscribe, bang the thumbs up, and all that kind of good stuff. So, yep, I escaped that one. Hopefully, it comes out nice and good in the wash. Hopefully, you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. And if you are new, bang the old subscribe button. Keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, whoa, football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one roof ski. Just one game left after this. One game to save your season, or one game to just muck about. That's what the mighty Blackburn Rovers will be doing, mocking about. But anyway, I'll see you then for the next one, which will be probably, when will it be? It'll be Sunday? Sunday will be their final prediction show for the Championship this season. It gives me a couple of weeks to kind of fine-tune everything for the rebuild, which I think is going to be in September. So between then and now, of course, there'll be other videos and all that kind of stuff on the channel, so make sure you stick around for that. But until then, I'm going to bounce. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.